Price differences for the same items depending on where they are being sold might not be something new. But what is the extent of these differences? Now, the answer may surprise you, as this senior correspondent Toh Yong Chuan, with the help of his 13-year-old daughter, find out that a McChicken costs $2 in Toa Payoh, but is almost double in price at Lucky Plaza. While companies generally publish their prices, there is an invisible veil over prices in that consumers are not told exactly what they are paying for. Companies can also charge different prices for the same items without telling customers about it. If consumers know how companies price their products and services, they will be able to make better decisions and save money on their purchases. Now, to discuss more on this, we have Yong Chuan himself in the studio. Welcome, Yong Chuan.
Thank you.
Now, Yong Chuan, as a start, if you could briefly explain how this idea of checking out the different prices come about. What were you hoping to get out of this casual study?
So this was for a column on personal finance in the Sunday Times. So I thought to prepare for it, one of the things I could get my daughter, secondary one, she's having school holidays, was to help me do some legwork. So the brief given to her was visit at least 5 McDonald's outlets, something that she's familiar with, and check out the price differences of some of the key items. Now, this is not a story about McDonald's. Now, all of us know for the longest time that it is normal for companies to price the same product differently at various locations. So the only explanation I can think of is because of rent. Right? Rent is what the companies, is the cost that the company absorbs to deliver the product or the service to you at that place. Now, so my daughter, being very enterprising, visited 7 instead of 5, and she found that there were some price differences. Now, some price differences were really small. So for some of the meals that cost about $10, the difference can be as small as 40 cents. But the thing that struck her was McChicken. $2 in Toa Payoh, in Junction 8, but $3.95.
Almost double.
Double in at Lido and at Lucky Plaza. So that was something that struck her and it became a bit of a talking point. But it is not about McDonald's, it is about price differentiation. I mean, for example, if you go to neighborhood shops, things may be priced differently, or even at the same hawker center, the same dish might be priced differently. So the point of that story, of that personal column, was to advise consumers before you purchase something, just take a bit more time to compare prices.
Now, Yong Chuan, you mentioned regarding rental, right? Now, rental overheads is clearly also considered in these price differences, and this is what you mentioned as well. Toa Payoh versus, say, pricey Lucky Plaza. What are some other factors, that could push up the price point as well?
Speaking generally, not just in the case of fast food, I can think of 2. The first reason could be, of course, labor costs. Joints that run 24 hours, that to deliver a product or a service will definitely need to hire people. And I've been a manpower correspondent for many years. I can tell you, if you need to hire someone to work in the evening or overnight, you have to pay the person more. So labor cost is another factor. A second factor I can think of is something that's a bit of a new phenomenon. We call it surge pricing. So when demand goes up, you're familiar with Grab, with
the private hire cars,
thankfully, for most delivery of products, as we see, fast food and insurance products, the examples I've cited in the column, surge pricing doesn't apply. So the main reason I can think of are mainly rent.
And Yong Chuan, so in your story, you briefly explained as well in terms of knowing how price breakdowns can help consumers better understand what they are paying for, right? Can you explain a bit more, how does this work, knowing the price points and, companies being transparent about the breakdown of their prices?
I think the first thing consumers can do is to be flexible. So for example, after this column, I know that if I were to go to Shaw Lido to watch a movie, if I have a craving for McChicken, I'll say, well, maybe let's wait. Let's satisfy the craving another day. So be flexible, be aware of alternative options, and maybe nowadays with internet and social media, with some crowdsourcing of information, we may just Google to see, are there cheaper prices elsewhere? So these are some things, simple things that we can do. And it comes back to the theme of the column. Small change. You can save a little bit here, a little bit there. You can save more in the long run.
Thank you so much, Yong Chuan, for coming on to share more on this. Now, to read more on Yong Chuan's piece, of course, you can check it out on our website. Now, those are the top stories for today. For more news and videos, of course, you can visit straitstimes.com. On that note, we will also be broadcasting live the solar eclipse at Marina Barrage this Thursday. You can get the details on our Facebook page. Now, once again, I'm Haryanto Diman. The big story will be back on Thursday, December 26. Till then, from all of us right here at Straits Times, we would like to wish you Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.